Oh, hey, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, depending on which part of this beleaguered country that you're in. You're watching Rebel Roundup. I'm your host, Sheila Gunn Reid, and I'm joined by my real life best friend from Regina, Saskatchewan, the lady, Lise Merle. Lise, how's it going?
Well, Sheila Gunn Reid, it's another great day to be on the wide open prairies of Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is getting, it has some stories brewing right now that have just
Oh,
got me all hot and bothered. And what a great time to be hot and bothered in August. We're in
yes.
August. Happy second half of summer, everybody.
Yeah, it was like 14 degrees here yesterday. Happy
Yeah.
summer.
Happy Halloween. Happy
Right.
Halloween.
Well, I hope everybody had a fun and productive long weekend. I know I did. We'll get to some of what I was up to over the long weekend with my boss, Ezra Levant, in Morinville. We'll give you a sneak peek of that. But before we get into the show, I'll tell you exactly what we're doing around here
Mhm.
and how you can get involved in the show. So if you are watching us on Rumble, that's an excellent free speech platform. If you want to get involved in the show, have your say, but also support our work. So you give us something, we give you something. Might I suggest you leave a Rumble rant? That's our paid chat over there. If it's over the $5 US cutoff, we are hereby reading it on air. If it's under that, we'll do our very best, time permitting. I can't go long today, so get your chats in early, please. If you're watching us over on YouTube, same rules apply. Their paid chat is called a super chat. They also have an additional way to support us, and that's by way of a super thanks. If you missed the live version of the show, but you just really want to support Sheila and Lise and the little network that could, you can leave a paid comment called a super thanks. And we ask you this, or we invite you to do this, I should say, because we'll never take a penny from the government to do the work that we do. We are fiercely independent, and taking money from the government would nuke that, wouldn't it? So those are the rules. Let's get involved in the show ourselves, shall we, Lise? Sorry, I moved my lights and I think I'm just gonna either start a fire or end up getting caught in a cord and yanking everything. Over the weekend, there was a protest for it's not proposed, it's happening. The Meta data center in the Heartland industrial region. So full disclosure, I live down the road from the Heartland industrial region. It's where the city of Edmonton, Strathcona County, and Sturgeon County all sort of come together on a corner. And maybe roughly 2006, 2008, this land was set aside for like heavy industry. I'm not saying like uh urban industrial park. I'm saying
Mhm.
like nutrient, like upgraders,
Right.
refineries. That's what's there. It's outside of town. It's across the North Saskatchewan River. And much of this land was bought by oil companies 10, 12, 14 years ago for
Mm.
refineries that actually were proposed, were supposed to go forward. The bottom fell out of the oil industry, and then they weren't built.
Right.
And so this is land that will not be agricultural land.
It's
When you hear
never gonna be developed as
never going to
housing
be.
or as right.
No. And it's in a place where it has access to skilled trades and
They're
easy
all there
access on the
anywhere. Right.
highway.
Right.
For the highway, it's all there. Um,
It's got the
so
infrastructure, it's got the infrastructure
all there.
to support it, right.
Right. And it's, a almost $13 billion project for this Meta data center, the single largest investment by Meta outside of the United States. And
Mhm.
it comes with its own $4.6 billion natural gas electricity plant. And if we want to get into the nitty gritty, uh, if this land stayed planted in canola, which I think some of it is in canola right now just to use the
Mm.
land, it actually would use more water than the closed system of the Meta data center. And these
Mm.
things are coming to Alberta because we have the skilled trades to build them. We have the investment climate, which is inviting, and we have the actual climate that's cold enough to cool these things without
That's
using
right.
an excess
Because
of
that's always the challenge with the
yes.
data centers is the heat that they generate from processing all of that data is problematic. And they're like, well, what do we do with all of the heat? And the
Right.
solution is in a closed loop water system that runs through the plant and then outside underground. in a great big humongous loop, and the water cools in that loop and then comes back into the facility. It doesn't require a constant feed nor drain of water. It just uses the same water over and over and over again. So
Right. And
that
look,
argument.
I share the same skepticisms about AI as everybody else. I'm worried about feeding the machine that will one day take over the world. But there is a new space race upon us. You know, if you think about the space race, it was between the Americans and the Russians, the free
Yeah.
world and communism. And the free world won the space race. And right now, the new space race is AI. Now you have the free world. Now, take that for what you will, because we all saw what Meta did during COVID. But if China wins, it will be that much worse. It will be used for your social credit score when they take over the world. So you have to pick the best of the worst bad guy here.
Right.
And nothing is going to stop. If we don't build the data center here and get the jobs,
Sure,
it will go somewhere. And if you don't want Meta to build data centers, I get it, but China isn't going to stop. So who should win this space race, right? You have to think practically. The genie is out of the bottle and it's not going back in.
Strategically, because if our data center goes down, we want to be online with a country that has similar values and beliefs, right? If our data center goes down for whatever reason, we want to make sure that that all of that infrastructure is still available in a trustworthy partner.
Right.
Would Chinese backup data centers be trustworthy partners in this?
Right.
I think that many people would say no, probably not.
Probably not. So anyway, over the weekend, and I was quite shocked at the organicness of the protest. About 200 people turned up in Morinville, Alberta. This is CBC News's coverage. And to be clear, Morinville is within Sturgeon County, but it's like 40 minutes away from where this data center is going to be built.
Okay.
I don't think that you're going to get a protest like this in Fort Saskatchewan, where the electricians are going to be making $250,000 a year and where everybody's housing value is going to skyrocket because of the number of people that have to come there to build this thing. So they took it to Morinville, I think, because this little fella here, Ben Burrill, the organizer, was in Morinville. One thing that I got to be fair too. I went there with Ezra. I've gone to a lot of lefty protests in my day. They actually talked to us. Like, there was nobody who saw the Rebel News mic flash and ran away from us. And many, and I cannot stress that enough, many people were open radical communists. The Radical Communist Party had a table there.
Oh, like the Revolutionary Communist Party, Sheila.
Yes, they were
there. The people behind the postage union, Sheila, they were there. Were they?
Yeah, and and there's a lot of like Eat the Billionaires, a lot of anti-Elon Musk, anti-Peter Thiel.
These are way off the deep end, far leftists. Like way. Who believe that revolution it must be a consistent act. You know what I mean? Like these. Okay, well, tell me more.
Their speeches were more like manifestos, and I say that completely sincerely. Like workers of the world unite, and they're going to picket the site. That's a good way to get the crap kicked out of you by some tradesmen, by the way. They said that, in their ideal world, the workers working on the data center would join their movement against their own jobs. Not quite how that works. The radical communists were selling pamphlets, charged Ezra $5 for one. And Ezra's like, his full show, I think tomorrow, is on our visit to the data center protest.
You went on a toodle. You went on a toodle with Ezra.
It was so funny because he's like, here I am engaging in a capitalist transaction with my new communist friends. And then he taps his card and he's like, see, some AI data center somewhere handled that processed that transaction on both sides. Wasn't that wonderful?
This is like, and this of course would be lost on them.
Yes.
lost on them.
Yeah.
That the thing that they are protesting is actually making their experience possible. That is hilarious. That
Yeah.
is actually hilarious.
So anyways, well, we'll have like Ezra's full show, and then we'll have that sits behind the paywall, but we'll have some free content out about that
Okay.
because it's just so darn interesting that it was the communists, the climate change people who, since they lost Greta Thunberg and she's pivoted over to being pro-Hamas, they've
Right.
got to do something to reignite their movement. So now I guess their latest thing is
This is it.
rehashing the anti-oil sands rhetoric on
But
these data centers.
but on AI, right? Just
Yeah.
repurposing it, just rebranding all of their same tired, sad arguments.
There was one nurse who decided to speak, and she's like, these things are killing the bees. They're going to give us all cancer. I'm like, I heard all this stuff before about refineries, and I got bees that hell wouldn't have. Like, what are you talking about, lady? So, anyways, there was one thing, like the speeches were just off the hook. One guy, I don't know if you can see it in my footage, but you will. I tried his like coil scribbler that he wrote his shouted manifesto on.
Oh,
the writing was like that big. It was like 4 of the ruled paper, like the lines, 4 of them. And like that, and she would just read it and like it was Ted Kaczynski level stuff.
I'm like I'm real hesitant to criticize anybody else's notebooking skills, okay? Because we all have our way, but it would be real rare for me to read directly off of my notebook. Actually, I might in a Globe Theater report coming up. It'll be the first time, but like, you know what I mean? To just be like, here were my thoughts as they were emerging, which I will repeat for you now. It's a little bit bizarre.
The only way to read what he had written was by shouting it. Like I think that was the only way.
Letters were that big and angry.
Oh, they were that big and angry, and like just I'm sure he broke many, many pencils writing that. But I want to share one fun snippet. So Ezra and I are sitting there, we're filming the speeches. I'm getting B-roll of the crowd, and I was very taken by a lady who was sitting there. I found her very entertaining. One side of her sign, I think, said F off with these data centers, or FAI or something. And the other side said, no one wants this. And I was like, well, lady, that's truth in advertising. And then she decided she was going to take to the mic. And I was like, I can't wait to hear what she has to say, because she was like, F this, F that the whole time. And she's sitting there on her, wasn't a mobility scooter.
Oh, don't.
It was
in my head
a walker, one of those roller walkers that you could sit on.
In my head, I was building up to this moment. Like, did you guys envision this as she was talking about it too?
So many masks and keffiyehs, so many there. So, you know, this was an NDP protest without the official NDPers. Guys, if you are sensitive to language, just maybe this isn't for you, but she's sitting in her walker here. Okay, let's just listen.
Show up and you tell them what you fucking think. And if that's not good enough, to all my rednecks, to all my people on probation, to all my line cooks, to all my rabble rousers, to all my true Americans, to all my true Canadians out there, fucking get your shovel out, because I'm tired. We are not sitting down for this one.
Narrator, she did indeed sit down for this one. She did.
With the assistance of the mobility aid.
She's tired and she's not sitting down for this one, but she's quite literally sitting down for this one.
Well, at least leaning. Listen, you can.
She's sitting in it. She's
leaning and screaming. Okay,
leaning and screaming.
That's what we.
She lost track of where she was, right? Like she was like, my fellow Americans, It's like, ma'am, you have watched one too many
Oh,
videos of people screaming at protests
wait, was
on
she
TikTok.
Sheila, was she brought in special to
No,
give this speech, or was she a local? Like, was
I
she paid to be there? How many of these people were paid by whom to be there? Because I feel like that might have been a tell.
she
She
wants
forgot where
line
she was for a
cooks,
quick second.
rednecks, and people on probation to take shovels to the data center to what? I hope they get a job, frankly.
Oh my God. Digging the foundations. That'd be a great way to spend some energy for those guys. But that's hilarious. I'm so happy that you went to that protest.
I
What
am
a
too.
fruitful day. I couldn't
I am too.
imagine how delighted Ezra would have been. Like, he would have just been in his glory.
He
Like,
was on his
obviously.
best, funniest behavior. And he was surprised that everybody was willing to talk to him. And look, I share many of the same concerns about big tech, right?
Right.
And we saw it during COVID. And one of the radical communists said that to us, like, what? Ezra asked her, what made you a communist? And she said, COVID. I saw the crony capitalism during COVID. I did too, but my problem isn't with the capitalism, it's with cronyism.
Right.
And for her problem was with the capitalism. For me, it was Frank Bayless with his ventilators scam and being linked to the liberals and stuff like that. And what Randy Boissonneau and his PPE company,
Right.
everybody being closely tied to the government, getting rich off everybody else's misery. That was my turnoff. And then if you brought it up, big tech censored you. I share the same concerns. I've got a different solution, though. My solution is not to opt for the AI build out that would give the government more control, i.e. Chinese AI.
Right.
Right? If your problem was control and censorship during COVID, the Chinese AI is going to be worse.
Huh. Yeah, because it'll have that social credit built in. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Anyway, stay tuned for that banger
Can't
of a
wait.
video.
Can't wait.
It was fun. And again, I remained shocked that they were so willing to talk to us. And yeah, like we even met someone who was like a Rebel super fan there. And, he said, AI is going to control us all. Look, I probably believe that too, but I don't want to be controlled by Chinese AI. I think at the end of the day. And I think we deserve these jobs. One thing the organizer said to me that I was like, and I had to stop him when he was talking about the water usage. I'm like, look, buddy, I'm a farmer. Just watch yourself before you start talking about water usage. And then when he said, these are 3,000 low quality jobs. And I'm like, pardon me?
Yeah, building infrastructure, humongous infrastructure projects do not create low quality jobs.
Low quality jobs.
Those are years and years and years and years of families that are doing great, whose dads are earning livings, whose moms can stay home with their littles. This is an incredible opportunity for that area. Interesting.
I was like, ugh, I'm the mom of a pipe fitter. Yeah,
but also their union members. Have the union members heard him say that? Because I'm sure that they would have, the trades unions would have a thing to say about that.
Because Ezra asked him, and again, I don't want to give his whole video away, but Ezra asked him, have you actually talked to tradesmen, the guys working on it? And he's like, well, we will reach out to the Alberta Federation of Labor.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Gil McGowan, the union monkey? No, go talk to the electricians. Go talk to the carpenters.
Yeah.
Go talk to those guys, not the guy who never had a dirty fingernail in his life, Gil McGowan. No way.
Yeah. Yep.
Imagine thinking that guy represents the trades.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, on another note, we have a team right now in Ceuta, Spain.
Do we ever?
So Alexa Lavoie, who speaks French, because all the Moroccans speak French, and Efrain Monsanto speaks Spanish.
Yes.
So they can deal with the Spaniards. They are in Ceuta, which is an autonomous city that is on the African continent, but it's part of Spain. It's connected to Morocco, but as you know, the Strait of Gibraltar is a hop, skip, and an invasion away from mainland Spain.
Yep.
and thousands, a city's worth of migrants basically overran the border, and they have all but taken over this city. And we have our team there. And let's just show this video. You can learn more at migrantreports.com. You can support their trip there. It was like a milk run to get them there. It was like literally planes, trains, and automobiles to get them there.
To get them all the way to Morocco, that's a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, who
and this is like this is not Marrakesh. They didn't go to Marrakesh. I've been to Marrakesh. They had to go to Spain and then take a ferry and a train, I think, or a bus. Like, it was very complicated for them to get there. And they went there with nowhere to stay because
just winging it.
How do you stay somewhere? The migrants are literally breaking into houses.
It's not like you can hit up Airbnb and be like, sure, we take a 2-bedroom. You just go and
hope for the
deal
best.
and deal with whatever you can find. So, but what a great team to be able to send with Alexa and Ephraim.
And they're talking to locals, they're talking to the migrants, they're talking to everybody. And there is a shocking level of honesty being displayed by the migrants that are coming there. We've got this video from Alexa. She calls them Moroccan invaders because what else would you call them? And how they learned about crossing the border from Morocco into Ceuta.
I'm here in Ceuta, Spain, and on the ground to see firsthand the aftermath of the 60,000 illegal migrants have had on this enclave. Directly beside the land border, I was able to speak with a group of young illegal migrants, including an older Moroccan who was providing aid and assistance. He admitted they all came because of online propaganda videos, mainly posted on Instagram, promising Spanish citizenship to migrants. Don't take my words for it. Watch the video. We used ChatGPT's live translation from English to Arabic to facilitate the interview. So please keep that in mind when listening to the answers.
هنالك العديد من الصفحات التي قامت بنشر أن الحدود مفتوحة وذلك علاش
تضرب باللغه العربيه
باش كيترجم القلاوي
ماشي هكاك انا نضاق انايا
ريبيت
راه كيسجل هادشي هذا صاحبي
Thank you for watching.
ماشي ديالها
احنا
حتى الفيس ديالها
حتى كلشي
بغيتو العمال في كندا راه
كندا trabajo nosotros
trabajo en España I love you لا جاي باش نخدم
يا بوكو look yes yes اسف يا امي
Showing her the pages.
Wow.
شو look il y a beaucoup
All the pages.
سيوتا واش نشروا هذا القلعه هما هادو السباب هما اللي كينشروا دراري ميته
دراري كلشي مات خوتي
This is on the Instagram that apparently information about the border being open was posted. It's why they came here.
انا نلخص لك شنو وقع دابا. المهم ملي سمعوا الناس بان البورده الحدود تحلت الناس كامله جات الاغلبيه الشباب اللي هما كيبحثوا على حياه افضل تشجعوا الاغلبيه كان اللي كتشوف قدامي يكون اللي مجاور قدامي يكون اللي كتلقى الاغلبيه غير الشباب فهمتينا كاملين قاصرين علاش لان السبته سمعوا خبر بان كتسوي الوضعيه والخيريه وكتدخلوا من الخيريه وكتعلموهم وكتهلا فيهم وهذا وزعما كيهربوا المهم ما نقولوش من المغرب ولكن هما دائما يبحثوا عن حياه افضل.
So what Alexa discovered here is that they're using human trafficking. Really, that's what it is.
Online.
It's luring people using Instagram and social media to swarm a place. And look how they responded. 60,000
instantly. They overwhelmed the town, overwhelmed the border guards, and now running amok. Like, the team had footage of the migrants grabbing a military truck and begging for food. Do you think if you grabbed a military truck at the Mexican border as a Mexican national illegally in the United States, if you grabbed like a border guard truck, like an ICE truck, if you grabbed it and asked for food, you'd be in cuffs in like 45 seconds and off to the deportation facility. You're off to the ICE facility. But that is not happening there. They're like hanging off the sides of the trucks. They're throwing rocks at journalists. Alexa and Efron had rocks thrown at them. Nick Shirley is there, and he was chased with a knife.
Oh God. Oh,
like
you guys,
it's just
please
lawless.
Be careful. Please be careful. Yeah, and I guess part of the complicating factor of this is that it's not Spain proper. You know what I mean? It's not
very close.
Mainland.
They could mobilize. It's very close.
True. But when you're being swarmed, and that's what this is a swarm of people, it's going to take them a little while to mobilize. But again, Spain has been really accepting of this kind of behavior. And what Stockwell Day did a really great video on it about sort of encouraging this kind of lawlessness, and the way that Spain has not put up any roadblocks for this to eventually happen. So now you're going to see the humanitarian agencies pour into the area. You always know that goes well, always.
Yeah.
Where they have to figure out where to put all of these single men, and it is single men. Like that's what we saw, guys.
Right.
And of
I
course
think
they would be
in all the footage,
pick up. Of course, they would be the ones unencumbered by families and unencumbered by. These are guys with the freedom to roam, and they did.
Well, I think in all the footage that I've looked at, I've seen a total of 5 women, and I've been meticulously scouring this. It's all young military age men. Like, look at this. And this video, Alexa's at the migrant facility, and she said they actually at these facilities separate. You know what? I'll just shut up. Let's listen to her say it.
Okay.
Of Africa, mainly like sub-Saharan, as well as Mauritanians and other places. I was speaking with the taxi driver, and what it was explaining is that this is a common thing here in Ceuta, that people are crossing illegally. And I asked him, is it normal? Like, is it the people crossed on Thursday and Friday during the massive invasion? And what he was explaining is like, maybe 50% of the people who were already there. On top of that, the army brought more of the people they were able to catch across the city. So they are here probably to be processed. But I need to add that it's not only them. We saw on our way, the beach is full of them. Hundreds of them are on the beach. This is insane, the number of illegals for a tiny Spanish autonomous city. We talk about 83,000 people who are living here. And I asked, who is paying for all of them?
Yeah.
And apparently it's the European Union. This is suicidal empathy.
Oh my God.
We will document everything. You can follow our work at our special website, migrantreports.com, if you appreciate our unfiltered.
They came with nothing, right? And there's a reason they came with nothing, is because they know that it will all be provided for them. They will be processed and then released into the EU. And that's why Italy almost instantly kicked Spain out of that agreement that allows free travel
migration
throughout the EU.
Right. Oh, well, this is so interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see who was behind those Instagram posts. Like, who was behind those Instagram posts, and are they using them as a method of contacting huge swarms of men to storm a place? I mean, it's also really telling though, because when this happened to Canada, all of us were locked down. Our migration was an invisible migration. We didn't actually get a good feel of what happened until we were sort of waking up out of COVID. That was several years of unmitigated migration that was foisted upon us as a Canadian public. Yeah.
I mean, as Alexa points out, this is a town of like 80,000. They've had 65,000 people come in Where will they stay? Well, no wonder
Well,
they're trying to break into the houses and stealing
and
food
this puts the native population at a disproportionate risk of violence, of
violence.
robbery, of sexual assaults, of
Yeah.
the gamut of things that you invite when you just throw open your borders.
Right. Why don't we show Stockwell Day, regular guest of the Buffalo panel, his
Yeah.
comments on this?
He's just on fire over it.
Yeah, good.
What's happening in Spain with their invasion, they brought upon themselves, and the same thing could happen to Canada. People need to get a grip and send the signal out, send it to our elected people. Canada is not wide open. This invasion that is happening in Spain is something that that country brought upon themselves. Their leadership, their prime minister, signaled to the world that they don't care if they get invaded, if there's mass over immigration, open immigration, that they're never going to send back people who are there illegally. When a country sends a signal that they don't care if they get invaded by massive immigration without anybody being checked, without anybody being deported if they're criminals, when you send that signal, your country is on the way to disaster. When you send a signal that anybody can come in, even when their values clash with yours, even when they don't support the values that made Canada strong, you send that signal that people are welcome to come swarming in on that basis, then Canada also will be doomed. There's this crazy notion out there that all cultures are equal. All cultures are not equal. Islam believes as foundational, I'm not talking about the so-called extremists, because a lot of Islamic teaching is extreme when compared to Western teaching. In Canada, we don't believe women are second class. In Canada, we don't believe that you can keep women from voting. In Canada, we don't believe that if somebody commits a terrorist act, they're going to go to heaven and meet 72 virgins there. In Canada, we believe everybody gets a vote. These things are very different than where Islam is practiced around the world. And if we don't make that differentiation, we are going to be in trouble. I can tell you, as Canada's former Minister of Public Safety, responsible for the criminal justice system in terms of how it's applied, if you don't send strong signals that there's going to be strong penalties, that there's going to be strong consequences for people who break the law, especially when they're doing that violently, if you don't send a message out that there's no free drugs for everybody on the street, that there's no free, safe shoot-up sites. These are messages that have to be sent out. If you don't do that, and add on to that wide open and illegal immigration, you invite catastrophe on your own country. People are wondering if there's any hope. Are we going to just fall apart like we're seeing in so many European countries? Of course there's hope. Hope comes from speaking the truth. Yes, speak it in love, but speak it strongly. And when you speak clearly and you identify to people that they need to think about who they're voting for. Are they voting for people and for policies that weaken a country, that make a country disintegrate? Or are they voting for people and policies that respect the law, that respect legal immigration, that recognizes there's right and wrong? These are the types of things that are going to either make a country be strong and prosper or cause a country to fail.
Imagine we had Stockwell Day as the public safety minister once upon a time, but now we have Gary Ananda Sangari.
What a fall from grace that position has taken over the years of Liberal control. But Stockwell Day there says something. Well, I think he says a series of things that very few people are willing to say.
Right.
It is that it's not enough to just not want this. You must actively push against it, is what he is saying.
Yes.
And this would have been unthinkable for anybody to say. Even a year ago, I would imagine Sheila Gunn Reid, and he just hit that out of the park. I mean, I've never heard Stockwell Day sound so prime ministerial in my whole life. I want a prime minister that sounds like that, to be completely honest.
Yep. He's great. Perfect articulation of the issue. some parts of the world are just incompatible with ours.
And it's not, there's nothing wrong with just pointing that out.
Yes.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with pointing out that we've developed something here that is worth saving and worth defending. And that's, I think, what he's calling for there. Yeah, Stockwell Day, everybody.
He's great. Or then there's Gary and Andis Angry.
Mhm.
It feels like we could have nice things, except for how east and central parts of this this country vote. Just still on this immigration issue before we hit an ad break. This is from July 2026, I believe.
Okay.
I'm going to keep all my little jokes to myself here because I cannot believe this is this man's last name. Okay?
Right.
Just try. Canada's ambassador to India, Christopher Cooter. I said I would keep my jokes to myself. It says Canada wants more international students. And Canada hosts more international students than the EU, UK, and Australia combined. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Cooter.
Canada as a preferred destination. What is the message that you want to give to the Indian students amid changing visa policies and immigration?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. The reason is that there is a kind of misperception in India that Canada is shutting the doors. That is not at all the case. It's true that a couple of years ago we did impose a cap because we had issues. There simply wasn't enough housing. There were some fly-by-night colleges. We wanted to clean that up, but we've done that. And now we host 400,000 students in Canada. That's more than the EU, UK, and Australia combined. It's more than the US hosts. So yes, you are very, very welcome as students and parents and students. Please do consider Canada. We think that we provide a very high quality education, whether that's university or polytechnic, we call them colleges. We think that that's at least equal to anywhere else in the world. And as you know, many of our universities, for example, are in the top 100. I think McGill, University of Toronto, in the top 20 or so. So you get high quality education. It's a safe and welcoming environment. And I think most people that go do have a very, very good experience. So my message is your number one, students are welcome. We haven't even reached those caps. So actually this is probably the best time ever to apply as an Indian student because we want you there and there's space in these caps. But when we come to the question of visas, people
okay, I think that's good.
Did he say camps?
Caps.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. 400,000 Indian student placements in the country. Do you know that displaces, sir, 400,000 Canadian kids from accessing opportunity for themselves? How completely tone deaf, Mr. Cooter?
Yeah.
Cooter?
Chris Cooter. He points, like, it's funny that the Canadian government is saying one thing in Canada and then the representative in India is telling the truth.
Yes.
And just think about this. He said in there that we host more foreign students than the United States, a country 10 times larger than us.
That is a wild admission. A wild admission.
And he's welcoming more to come.
He's saying Indian parents, know that Canada is a safe place to send your kids. Yep. I thought that we were getting a handle on this. I thought that we had acknowledged that bringing in this many temporary students that then don't leave wasn't maybe the best idea.
Yeah.
No? Like it sounds like he's really sort of saying the exact opposite of that. That the doors are wide open. Yes. Sounds like that they're rolling out the red carpet still on the India side. But on our side, nobody is saying what Stockwell Day just had the balls to.
Yes.
So unreal. Just unreal.
Let's hit an ad break. We'll come back on the other side. I want to talk about the guy who was arrested for a fire that Governor Jay Inslee blamed on, of course, climate change.
Oh,
and then we've got the Edmonton City Police telling us that if we call for the deportations of foreign students who overstay their visas, that we are guilty of a hate crime. that's not how it works. You're the cops. You should know better. And then I have 3 cringes today, I think.
Triple cringe, you guys.
Triple cringe day.
Triple cringe after a long weekend. I can't wait for this second half of the show.
Okay, hit an ad break.
For generations, many Canadians have preserved more than just firearms. They've preserved history, tradition, competition, memories. But under Trudeau, and now Carney, heirlooms, estates, collectibles, and competition firearms now have to be surrendered and destroyed. While violent gun criminals get pass after pass, openly ignoring any legislation, lawful gun owners are trapped in an increasingly unfair legal system. But we can help. Canada's National Firearms Association's Save Firearms program offers the legal pathway to preserve what matters, while we work towards a political solution. Don't let yours be next. Save history, save heritage, save firearms. Visit nfa.ca today to learn more.
In Canada, firearms owners like me understand the importance of safe, effective self-defense options. That's why we're proud to have Byrna as a sponsor. Byrna's less lethal launchers are designed to help protect you and your family without taking a life. Byrna offers peace of mind, accessibility, and a practical layer of personal security for Canadians who value safety. Learn more at byrna.ca/rebel. That's BYRNA.ca/rebel.
Hey folks, do you love a good cup of coffee? Are you, like me, banned for life from visiting Tim Hortons? Well,
no, we're not. No, not everybody is.
Not everybody.
Just you and me.
But I am. Folks, I have great news. Check it out. This is Rebel News Special Edition Coffee. Rebel News and Resistance Coffee have partnered to bring you something special to wake up to. Resistance Coffee is a family-run Canadian coffee company, unlike Tim Hortons, by the way. And while the big chains wrap themselves in the flag and turn their backs on Canadian workers, Resistance Coffee has been doing the real thing all along, available only at rebelcoffee.ca. A 5-pound bag and bundles qualify for a $9.99 flat rate shipping nationwide. It is worth every penny. Folks, this is great coffee, and this is the coffee to brew. Rebel News.
Hey, we're back. We have a message from our friends at Rumble Wallet. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your money after the 2008 financial crisis. Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. If you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you've felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today, everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like me directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code, click the link in the description, download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. That's from our friends over at Rumble Wallet, or wallet.rumble.com. All right, let's quickly touch on what on earth is happening with the Edmonton City Police. So I think it was Friday, maybe Saturday. I saw this post on X. You won't be able to find it now because they deleted it, and it was about hate crimes in Edmonton. And they had this crazy little video, and I think Jamie Sarkanak has her
a clip of
it. A clip of it. So actually, maybe this is Yegwave. So it shows what they are telling you is a hate crime that you can report to the police. So Edmonton Police says, you typed it, someone lived it. You know what, Edmonton Police, you typed this for some reason. And then it said, it hurts people, and so it harms rural communities. Hate has no home here. That is, you know what, that's the only way that our CFO knows that it's a good coffee shop, is if it has a hate has no home here sign in the window. But that, you don't want to hear that from the police. So look at the stuff that they're putting here.
This is just basic jokey jokes. Send them back home. You know, only so-and-so is a bad driver. Only these are just
send them back home. Oh, F off with that effing whiners causing the problems. Like, does this mean my ex mentions are a hate crime? Because this is tame for what I get in a day.
A true story.
Send them back home. So if you are complaining that the temporary foreign students are overstaying their visas, you're guilty of a hate crime. If you want to deport foreign criminals,
if you have
you're the one guilty of the hate crime.
If you have an opinion as a native Canadian about what's happened here, you're guilty of a hate crime. This is the worst kind of policing. This is the absolute worst kind of policing. Do we have to remind them? Do we have to remind them that the entire British rape gang inquiry was based on police ignoring one segment of the population in favor of the other segment of the population? This is like this is two-tier policing out loud. And that they would try and be the arbiters of this is the mind-blowing part, because they should be taking advice from the people that are putting this information out there, going, oh, people are noticing a trend here, maybe we should look into that. Instead, they make those people making basic observations the criminals, the potential criminals. It's wild. It's upside down.
They have like Edmonton City buses wrapped in this nonsense.
Gosh, they got some, listen, I'm just going to call it now. They got some big federal funding to do this campaign. As I believe, and it looks like Regina Police Service is getting some special funding to do these campaigns.
I'm not normally a defund the police kind of girl, but whatever this is needs to be defunded.
It's their communications teams run amok. And that's honestly what I believe happened at Regina City Police too, was their communications teams were given a great big fat budget and say, okay, well, how can we best make use of this opportunity for ourselves? Instead of just defaulting to what the police's position should be, which is to protect and serve. This does not protect and serve. This cherry picks information to suit a narrative that the Edmonton Police is after. And everybody saw through it, because why else would they delete? The dirty delete is the tell.
I do want the police rounding up foreign criminals. I do. I don't want them wrapping buses in report a mean tweet campaigns.
I want them finding foreign cult leaders.
Yes.
And foreign gang members.
Sex traffickers,
people that are participating in election interference. I want them to go after those guys,
right?
Not creating their own feedback loop with shiny marketing campaigns.
And as Jamie Sarconic points out, Jamie, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I don't know which emphasis to put on the syllable.
We should find that out one of these years. Truly, we should just find
Jamie,
her.
send me a voice note.
Yeah. Say your name three times. Yes. 3 times. Different
because
inflections.
Normally people I don't respect, I just don't even learn how to say their name. But I respect Jamie and her work, so I want to say her name properly. But she points out, like, the real problems in Edmonton are not people like me saying, oh, would you mind deporting all the people who have overstayed their work visa, please? She says there are Eritrean corner stores trafficking weapons, drugs, tobacco, stolen retail goods, Eritrean riots. That is true. An Eritrean riot happened. Punjabi gangs committing extortion, torching homes, and running opium poppy farms. Roma theft, scam rings that raid food from grocery stores, steal cars, and seniors' jewelry. When certain communities become known for certain crimes, certain stereotypes are that, because they're true. People are going to talk about it. Deportation is a valid thing to talk about in a democracy. It's not a hate incident, nor is it akin to calling for genocide, as this video implies.
Beautiful. Jamie. Agreed.
You, Jamie.
Seconded. Carried.
All right. Okay, let's talk about this story in Washington State. And the only reason I'm going to talk about this story in Washington State is not that it really has any implications with Canada, but it goes to the broader issue of climate activists in government being an arsonist's best friend for some reason. Because they're like, a fire breaks out and they're like, it was climate change. And then there's like a guy running away with a can of gas in the background.
Yeah.
So Governor Jay Inslee said the fire in Spokane was climate change. This is a fire that burned roughly 700 homes to the ground and forced 65,000 people to flee. The guy killed his dad over dishes. He killed his dad.
What?
He wasn't in prison. He got into an argument with his dad in Mesa, Arizona, because his dad asked him to do the dishes. So he's 37 now. He would have been like 19, 20 in 2010. So a grown-ass man wouldn't do his house chores. First of all, why are you living at home? You're grown. So he shot his dad to death. And then he's out there now. He started a fire. He was just arrested. Aaron Farinacci. He also pointed the gun at his mother, shot himself and survived. He was charged with first-degree murder, pled guilty to manslaughter. Fast forward to this week in Spokane, Washington. The Old Trails fire tore through the neighborhoods north of the city. Anyways, he had waterproof matches, a butane lighter on him.
He had a fire kit, he had an arson kit.
An arson kit. And so let's go to what Jay Inslee. So that's the Democrat, climate radical governor of Washington said. And this guy hates oil and gas, hates pipelines.
This was at the time, like this was at the time of the fires. We're going to watch a video of him?
Yes, just like days ago.
Okay.
Okay, let's watch.
He had to evacuate because of these massive fires in Spokane County. The whole state's under threat now. Climate change. You know, climate change isn't some existential global thing. It's our neighbors, it's our friends. We had to fight for him. He had to evacuate because of these massive fires in Spokane.
Okay, so anyways.
Sir, it's mid-July and there, sir, it's mid-July and there you are in a hoodie, okay? So shush about climate change. Shush about it. It's just the weather. It's just the weather.
Climate Barbie did the same thing. Yeah, that's the face of climate change right there. A 37-year-old do-nothing with a fire kit and some butane. That's the face of climate change. What's her face? Her name escapes me now. Climate Barbie. Catherine McKenna. She was in BC during the wildfires 7-8 years ago, and she looked out the window and she's like, this is what climate change looks like. Almost all of this were arson. Almost all. An arsonist's best friend, these people.
Well, it's been suggested that it's a fast way to a quick vacation. Listen, when I have to take everybody out on buses and you get to go to the city for a week or two, there's motivation. There's motivation to set fire to northern communities.
Not everything is climate change. Actually, nothing is climate change.
That's right, because we have weather and we don't know
weather. Okay, so we were short on the cringes last week. Not that there's a lack of cringe out there in the world. I just didn't properly prepare for the shows last week, and that's my fault. So I thought to make it up to everybody, I would feature 3 cringes. The first one is Hedy Fry. Hedy Fry. That woman is older than the hills. She looks
an
like
octogenarian. She's got to be in her 80s. She's got it. Hedy Fry has been around since the early 1900s. Okay, I think
she looks like Eartha Kitt's corpse. Okay.
Oh no.
Here she is, looking like some sort of old Star Trek alien.
Hedy, please.
That's a Vancouver pride.
Come get your Nana. Come get your Nana. Actually, I might be finding my costume for the Rebel News Live event this October 31st. I'm looking to do a great costume, and I might come as Hedy Fry.
She looks like a Broadway bumblebee. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at here.
I can't tell if it's leathery skin or if it's gold lame. It all blends together. Oh, Hedy. That's a look for being, she's got to be 80. She's got to be 80 years old.
She's 80 if she's a day. Like she's been around being a prickly old crone for as long as I can remember politics.
Yeah. Come get your Nana. Come get your look what your Nana did.
Oh my God. Does she not have grandchildren who actually love her? Like, come get her.
Speaking of old crones, I saw Elizabeth May was at the Pride Parade somewhere, and she accidentally divulged that she was the only federal leader at that certain Pride Parade for the first time ever. And then she did a sad
nature's healing.
Finally. We're coming around, guys. Yeah. We're coming around. But Hetty Fry.
Okay.
Quite the costume.
Quite the costume. I think she borrowed that from other old crone, Olivia Chow.
Watch, it's like that's the carcass of a drag queen Hetty Fry just put on.
Right.
He shed his skin and then I put it on and wore it to the Pride Parade. I mean, I'd not be surprised by that level of disturbing debauchery happening at a Pride Parade.
Like, she's got those spindly little old lady legs, and I know I'm going to get those one day. I know, but you're not going to see me in a gold lame Tina Turner outfit out at the Pride Parade.
In my arthritic hips will not be appearing in gold lame at the Pride Parade. Thank you so much.
I'm going to be in sweatpants, comfortable, stretchy waistband sweatpants covering my spindly little legs. I'm not going to terrorize the rest of you with them.
And here we have, Hetty Fry. This is what the political establishment creates. You know, after decades and decades and decades of public service, this is what you devolve into. So make wise choices, Canada. Make wise.
Spend time with your grandparents, people. Spend time so they don't end up at the Pride Parade. That's what you can do. This one, family fun at shipyards, North Vancouver, BC. You can hear the children shrieking in terror.
What is this?
Are the kids screaming?
Well, a Pride event. A Pride event. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. The kids are shrieking in terror.
Who wouldn't? That's terrifying. That's terrifying for adults watching this right now with like a red devil face and some sort of unitard and you know what, guys? This is what some people consider socially acceptable behavior. I don't.
No,
I just don't. This kind of overtly sexualized performance, drag performance, is not appropriate for kids. It's not appropriate for public consumption. It's certainly not appropriate for, a weekend afternoon at the shipyards in Vancouver.
This is the long weekend at the shipyards. So there's going to be lots of kids there. Okay, last one. I regret to inform you, everybody, that the United Church is at it again. Drag queen dressed as Batgirl dances at an all-ages drag show inside a United Church, which is just a self-help group for disaffected LGBTQ adults these days. Find yourself a cross in the United Church these days. You're going to have to really get looking.
Let's look, guys. Okay, let's look. Look at the
You'll find the pride flag, though, prominently, but it's hard to find a cross, just so that you know who they really worship.
No. No. Like Sheila. This is in a United Church.
In the United Church. And you can see the pride banner on the, I was going to say on the pulpit. Yeah, it's on the pulpit. I was going to say on the altar, but it's on the pulpit there. So you really know who they worship. And that's the self. right? Like that, which is the violation of the first commandment, by the way, that you shall have no other gods but the one true God.
That's right.
These people put themselves before God. They worship themselves and their own wants and desires, and everybody just seems fine with it.
This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen
you know
in
what?
my life.
It's missing a
even in terms of, like,
lightsaber. It needs the lightsaber.
he just pulled his hamstring there with that super high karate chop. Yeah. Oh, this is embarrassing for the United Church. But then again, the United Church is an embarrassing institution. They've beclowned themselves over the years by embracing this kind of lifestyle, I guess, which many other Christians believe is an affront to their faith. It's really quite embarrassing. Luckily for us, though, the United Church will see themselves into extinction because they're not making their places welcome to families. I mean, I certainly wouldn't take my family to a place that just showed that, ever.
The churches that are growing are the churches that are not not woke. Like the Catholic Church is seeing
traditional
a boom
churches
in young people, and the more rulesy churches, the churches where anything goes and it's all about just you and your relationship with the Lord, no judgment here. People are looking for rules, judgment, guidance, and no gray areas. And they're looking for a church that provides them with that.
They're looking for answers. They're looking for answers to their problems, not more problems.
Right.
And that's going to be fleshed out in the numbers. And we're seeing that with young people adopting conservative values. The kids are going to be okay. The kids are
fine. The kids are going to be fine. They're the most conservative generation since World War II. We just hear about the bad ones.
Yeah. Anyway,
Olivia, do we have any chats, Olivia? Okay. No chats today. That's okay. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Lise, thanks so much for jumping on this Tuesday show with me post a long weekend.
Oh, babe, it's my pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time tomorrow on the Buffalo panel.
Buffalo panel. I want to talk about Naheed Nenshi tomorrow and how he got caught redacting something, and everyone's like, you redacted the thing that actually showed that you made an idiot of yourself. And then he's like, I had a problem highlighting it. Sure. Confused by a fax machine, are you? Yes. So I want to talk about that tomorrow. Olivia and Efron is overseas. So Olivia, thank you for putting the show together. Everybody who works behind the scenes so that the show's there when you want to see it. Those of you who interact with our content, it's an excellent free way to help us get in front of more eyeballs. You interact with us, the algorithm says, people like that, and then they show it to more people. So we do want to get to 2 million subscribers. Those are Camping with Steve numbers. So
we could only be so lucky. We could only be so lucky. Big prize package we're going to send to the 2 million subscriber because it's a pretty big deal around these parts.
Yes. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. And as we frequently say on the show here, if you find us offensive, maybe join the United Church. No, if you find us offensive, maybe don't find us at all.
Hello everyone, it's Alex Salavor from Rebel News, and I have some big news I've been dying to share with you. I'm officially going on this year's news cruise, and I want you right there with me. So write this down, thenewscruise.com. That's where you go and reserve your cabin. And I will say it again before we are done, so stick with me. Here is what makes this year so special. For the very first time, Rebel News is teaming up with our friends at Juno News. 2 independent newsrooms, 1 unforgettable week at sea. We set sail on Saturday, November 20th, out of Fort Lauderdale, aboard Holland America Line's gorgeous MS Eurodam. 7 full nights in the Eastern Caribbean, returning Saturday, December 5th. And the itinerary is stunning. We will visit Grand Turk, San Juan in Puerto Rico, San Thomas, and Half Moon Cay, with relaxing days at sea in between. Sunshine, spectacular beaches, incredible food, and the best company you could ask for. But honestly, it's not really about the palm trees. It's about the people. You will get to spend the week With me, Ezra Levin, Keen Bexley, constitutional lawyer John Carpe, and journalists from both Rebel News and Juno News, like my colleague David de Menzoy-Menzi. When the ship is at sea, we host private receptions, exclusive panels, Q&A sessions, and roundtables. Candid, off-the-record conversations you won't find anywhere else. And every single night at dinner, we rotate seats. So over the course of the week, you will actually sit down and talk with all of us. No cameras, no scripts, just real conversation. Now, here's the thing. Every cruise we have ever run has sold out. And this year, with Juno News joining us, demand is higher than ever. The best cabins, especially the balconies, always go first. So don't wait. Go to thenewscruise.com right now to explore your cabins options and book your spot. Or if you got questions, give us a call at 1-800-707-1634. I cannot wait to see you on board. This is going to be a week to remember.